Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings. Generally like to talk a lot of bollocks, tabletop gaming in general, and in this video we're going to be talking about a very small card game. We're going to be talking about Scout, published by Oink Games, and in this game you will be playing cards from your hand to take cards from the centre of the table. You'll be trying to arrange the cards in your hand in a specific order that will allow you to win the game. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules, telling you what we do like, we don't like. We'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Scout is worth your time and bother today and in the future. So remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button, all that YouTube bullshit. We'll see you after this. Bollocks! So, Scout, how'd you play this game? So Scout is a very small card game where you will be given a hand of cards, right? First thing you're going to do is you're going to choose which orientation you want the hand of cards to be in. You can either consider a number at the top or you can consider a number at the bottom. But once you've decided that, then you cannot alter the sequence of cards in your hand, right? Everyone's going to get a Scout and Show token, and you'll dump a number of victory point chips to the side of the table, right? So on your turn you've got three options. You can show, you can scout, or you can use your Scout and Show token to scout and show, right? If you decide to show, then you will have to play at least one card from your hand into the center of the table, and if there's already cards in the center of the table, then you'll have to make sure that you have a stronger set than the cards that are already there. A stronger set is considered to be a sequence of numbers that are higher in value than the existing set. These could be either ascending or descending. It's up to you. So in order to determine who's got the strongest set, you'll first have to have a look at a couple of things. If you've got more cards in your set than the set that is on the table, then your set is going to be stronger. If the amount of cards is the same, then a set with matching cards is going to be stronger. So if you've got a 4, 5 and 6, then 3 2s is going to be able to beat that, right? So if both of these are the same, then you'll look at the smallest numbered card in each set, and if your card is higher, then you can show the set, right? Because you can have a stronger hand. So if you are able to show your set, you'll replace your set with the existing set, and the cards that you showed now become the active set, right? So next action you could do is scout. If you didn't want to show, then you can choose a card from the existing set that's on either end of the set. You can't take the middle card or any cards that are in the center of the set, and you'll be able to insert that card into your hand any which way you want, and you'll even be able to change the orientation of that card, right? And the owner of that set will be able to take a Scout chip from the supply, and this will give them points at the end of the game. So once per game you can use a Scout and Show chip, and this will allow you to take both of those actions in the same turn. So you'll keep doing this until the round ends. If the cards run out after a show, then that'll be the end of that, and if after a show no other players could or didn't want to show, then the round will end in that way. You will take all of your score chips, add them up. Each card you collected is worth 1 point, and any cards that you still have in your hand, you'll lose a point for each one, right? You'll play 3 rounds of this and you'll add up all the scores, and the player with the most points will be the winner of Scout. So what do we like about Scout? So the first thing that we really like about this game is the fact that it utilises dual use cards. And okay, they're not dual use cards in the traditional sense where you're going to have 2 different actions. But when you scout a card, you can reorient the card and put it in your hand any which way you want. So if this game was just a case of like just choosing a card, stick it in your hand, it would be a bit shit. But the fact that you've got 2 options for the price of 1 means that the strategy's a little bit more complex than it otherwise would have been. So the next thing that we like about this game is that showing your cards could inadvertently hand an advantage to your opponent. You might be thinking you're Billy Big Balls by sticking out 2 8s to make that a high set, but in doing that you're going to be handing a high use card to an opponent who could then make a more powerful set out of it, right? So you've got to be very mindful about what cards have been used. I'm not saying you've got to learn the skill of card counting or anything like that. You've got to hold this information in your head when deciding when to play certain cards and in what order. So the third thing that we like about Scout is the fact that having a static hand means that you are at the same time hobbled in your opening gambit, right? But that static hand can lead to better opportunities in the future dependent on what the other players show, right? So it's a novel approach. It sort of reminds us a little bit like Bonanza, where you've got a hand of cards that isn't going to move, and we just like the idea that you're both hindered and gifted opportunities at the same time, right? So what don't we like about Scout? So the first thing that we don't like about this game is that the theme is virtually non-existent. I'm not saying they've just tacked a theme on for the sake of it, which they sort of have, but the circus theme is literally a pile of dog shit, right? It's so bad, it's almost embarrassing. I mean, they've even given names to the cards. For instance, the number 10 and the number 9 card is called Zachary, and apparently he is a human cannonball. I've no idea what that means at all. Or the number 5 card is called Quinn, and he rides a bicycle. I mean, I wasn't even aware that people rode bicycles in the circus. I thought they just rode bicycles on the road, but whatever. Number 7 and 1 card is Carol, and she likes wearing stilts, sort of like a Japanese Oscar Pistorius without a shotgun. So the next thing that we don't like about Scout is that the concept is pretty difficult to grasp for new players in our experience, right? I know that you fuckers at the back are sitting there going, this game's a piece of piss to play, you're thick as shit. Yeah, I admit that, I'm thick as shit, yeah? But every time we play this with new players, trying to get them to understand the fact that the cards don't move out your hand and the difference between showing your goods and scouting for boys are fundamentally different principles. So the Catholic Church and Lord Baden-Powell aside, I'm not saying it's a complete and utter bastard to teach, but you just find yourself going over the same concept again and again and again, and it takes a few games of this for people to get it, and by that time they're bored out of their fucking head and they want to play something else. So it's just frustrating teaching this game to new players, yeah? So the final thing that we don't like about Scout is that the rules come on a sort of like a shopping list style piece of paper, and the writing is really small, the examples are really small. I've got failing eyesight, I don't wear glasses because I don't want to look old, and this is just a pile of shit. The rules are really badly organised. When we played this the first couple of times, we missed a couple of rules. We missed the rule where you're allowed to reorient the card after a scout, and it basically fucked the game up completely. But yeah, there's lots of little things in there that we missed first time round, and I just don't like these stupid little rule books. These are even worse than those fucking flappy rule books, you know, the ones that are the size of the box. There's no excuse for that, and there certainly is no excuse for this, aside from being able to fit it back in this poxy little box, right? So to summarise, is Scout worth your time and bother today and in the future? So we're going to say yes, absolutely. Scout is one of the best small card games that we have played in a very long time. I would say that it has novel mechanics, but we have sort of seen this thing before with the Uwe Rosenberg card game Bonanza, right? So it's not completely original. The novel concept of dual-use cards coupled with a static hand means you not only have to worry about what's in your hand, but you also have to worry about what your shows are going to gift to others, yeah? It's completely devoid of theme, which is a complete shame, yeah? The circus theme is just a load of shit, so don't even bother with that, yeah? And it can be a bit of a shit to teach in your first couple of games. Some of the concepts in here are going to be alien to people that have the IQ of a sponge. But if you can get over those hurdles, and they're only tiny little hurdles, it's like a dwarf steeplechase, yeah? Not that type of dwarf, like the bearded D&D dwarf, yeah? Evil fuckers. So all those problems aside, Scout gets better and better every time we play it. It's like we're peeling off layers of an onion without having to cry our eyes out, yeah? So there you go, that's Scout. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. See you next Tuesday.